Okay, so I lead off with my Cure in Black, expecting him to lead off with Politoed. He leads off with Gliscor, making it so I have to switch. I switch into Slowbro to wall his Gliscor, but he goes to Ferrothorn. And I figured he didn't know that I had the Flamethrower, because people don't seem to know that for some reason. But he actually did make the good choice and go for the Politoed switch in. He goes for the Scald, gets the burn on my Kingdra, which kind of sucks, but it's a Choice Specs Kingdra, specifically to counter rain, and you'll see how it works in this match. So he switches into Ferrothorn to wall the Draco Meteor, which does good. He sets up Stealth Rocks as I switch to Magnezone. I set up the Substitute, expecting the Leech Seed. He goes for Spike, so that was a good play on his part. And I go for the Hidden Power Fire, of course. Get some damage, 42%. I'm not really surprised. He misses the Power Whip. He shouldn't have gone for the Power Whip in the first place, because he wouldn't be able to break my sub, probably even with 2 Power Whips. So he should just set up all 3 layers of Spikes. But, so he dies to the Hidden Power Fire, nothing much he could do. He should have set all 3 layers of Spikes, because I don't even have a spinner on my team. So he goes for the Earthquake, and I go for the Flash Cannon. I know he has to go for the second Earthquake, because otherwise, like, if he goes for the Read and goes for the Toxic, he could just lose his Gliscor outright. So I knew he had to go for the Earthquake. So I switch in Slowbro, and now I go for the Ice Beam, in case he wants to go for the Toxic and get one-shotted. Oh no, I guess I don't. So I switch into Cure in Black, expecting the Politoed switch in, and I threaten him again with, strong moves. I go for the Outrage. Choice Banded Adamant Outrage, just to, put a dent in his team. He has the, the Keldeo, that I believe is Scarfed, so it's able to revenge kill, no problem. And I switch in Slowbro, go for the Psychic, hoping to hit the Keldeo, switches into Politoed. I switch into Magnezone. He goes for the Scald, does a lot of damage because the rain is up, and now he's forced to switch, and I go for the Thunderbolt. Does a decent amount of damage. He goes for the Thunder, gets the Paralyzed. I go for the Thunderbolt, not getting hacked, and he gets paralyzed. So this is good. I feel like I'm kind of in a winning position. He goes for the Water Pulse, which does low damage, and I don't get paralyzed again, and I hit the Thunder move, and it kills. So Slowbro hard counters Toxic Rope, so I just switch it in every time. Times 4 weakness to Psychic, and subbing isn't going to do anything. He's just letting me get back like leftovers damage pretty much. 19% with the payback, not surprising. They really can't do anything. Like, even if they get crits, they're not going to be able to do a whole lot against Slowbro. So I go for another Psychic. He switches in Politoed. I didn't have anything to hit the Politoed with more damaging than Psychic, so I figured I might as well go for it. I expect the Toxic at this point since it's defensive Politoed, and I didn't want to get my Slowbro Toxic, but my Magnezone is slower than his Politoed, so he's going to be able to outspeed and kill me, and that allowed him to get some leftovers health back, so that wasn't too good on my part. Anyways, I switch into Breloom. I know I can outspeed. I go for the Spore, send them to sleep, and now he expects the Bullet Seed and goes for the Toxic Harp switch in. He resists the Bullet Seed, takes 3 of them, and now I switch back to Slowbro to hard counter it again, as I always do. So take some Spikes damage and everything. He goes for the Substitute. Not too sure why. He should have just gone for the payback since he knew I was going to make the switch. Like, there's no... Like, he knows. And, go for the Psychic, as I always do. Psychic is, like, pretty much the best move left for his whole team. But I expect the Politoed switch in, so I switch into Kingdra, because this was a good time to bring it in. And I go for the Draco Meteor, and yeah, doesn't kill Choice Specs Draco Meteor, and it doesn't kill Politoed. Like, the Politoed doesn't even have full health. I don't really think that's fair, but whatever. So I go for another Draco Meteor, and it misses. And I'm like, well, it's about to die, so I'll just go for the other Draco Meteor, and it misses. So I missed 2 Draco Meteors in a row, so this isn't going so well for me, but the Toxic Rope doesn't really threaten me because I have Slowbro. So I switch in Slowbro. Big surprise. I go for the Psychic. He goes for the payback, of course. 21% this time. Okay. Psychic breaks his sub, and then he has to switches into Politoed, and that dies. So yeah, expected. Whatever he switched in was pretty much in a bad position. He goes for the Keldeo switch in. So I switched in Breloom because I wasn't really sure what he would go for. He goes for the Hydro Pump, and that one-shots. So he might be Specs, actually, with how much damage he's doing. He goes for the Hydro Pump and misses, which is really helpful. You'll see. I probably would have lost the match if he had actually hit, because that's doing 52%, so it would have been a two-shot, actually killing my slow bro otherwise. So I'm at 36%. I know I can survive a payback and kill him and win the match, but he hits it critical, so I'm like, damn it. So it's down to just Jirachi versus Toxic Rogue. I go for the Iron Head because I figure it's my best option right now, hoping for the, just to flinch him to death. And I don't get the flinch, he goes for the Drain Punch, and then I do get the flinch on the second one, which is helpful. And then I go for a third one, he lives with 1% health, I don't get the flinch. I live with 3% health, so RNG, 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 and finish it with Iron Head. So a very close battle. It was a good game. I hope you enjoyed.
And if you set up the spikes...
Yeah, if he set up the spikes, I would have lost there.